You talked about people being interested in what they can get. Is it the same feel you get when you see the call for for creation of more states? Like now, the government is saying, or rather the National Assembly is also thinking of getting the Senate specifically. He's saying that the Southeast should get one more state so that there could be some kind of equity in the whole equation that we have now. Is that what you mean by people being interested in what they can get?
No, that is not what I'm saying. We are looking at it from an equitable point of view now.
Okay, speaking on that same platform.
On that platform.
Is it ideal that we get more states created?
If Nigeria must exist on this particular platform, there should be states created in the East, at least to leverage on some other states. And most importantly, the issue of local government must be expunged from the Constitution. The reason is that
let's get you here. You're saying grassroots governance should be expunged and replaced with?
I am not saying it should be expunged. It should be a constitutional responsibility of the states. If Lagos State wants to create 2 million local governments, so be it. But what the point we are making is that there should not be any leeway to the federation account by these local governments. If you take the totality of the states in the entire Southeast, you find out that those states are not up, those local governments are not up to what they have in Kano and Jigawa. So where lies the justice? If you're talking about justice, you must have come to equity with clean hands. The Constitution needs a total overhaul. My greatest fear and challenge is the fact that the team will not have the moral unction and the strength and the political will to pull through this.
You still talk about the team. By now we thought they say we all can contribute. And you still think that the task rests with the team?
Well, this is Nigeria. When you make these contributions, you don't take the entire papers home. You're handing over to a team that has been nominated to do that. And my strength is that there is absolutely no way this team will not be teleguided.
But it's already.
So what alternative are you preferring in this kind of circumstance?
My attitude, like I have said, is that the representations for the individual communities should come from the scratch. There should be a free-for-all engagement, not by way of political nomination and all that. This is the restructuring must be done in a very, very holistic manner. There are a whole lot of, it's not just these issues I've mentioned. The Constitution is resting on so many false premises. So what do you do with the local governments? So the people that gave 44 local governments to Kano and 20 to Lagos, on what platform, what indices did they base their judgment? So what I'm saying is that, of course, the Constitution is this particular Constitution is a decree, and we must appreciate that, even though there were some cosmetic arrangements that were made to give it a color of a people-generated Constitution. My attitude to that is that if we are really interested in having a constitutional review, constitutional amendment, we must be prepared to surgically deal with the Constitution. There are a lot of things that should be dealt with in our Constitution. And once we maintain this attitude of laissez-faire stuff, that let's continue going and all that, you find that will not get anywhere. But like I have told you, no politician will accept what I am saying, because I have repeatedly maintained that the 36-state structure is a monumental financial disaster come waste.
Some people have said that, it will all boil down to fiscal federalism. It's something you've also mentioned in terms of how the local governments draw funds directly from the federal government. And they are saying that, if we address how it's a center that is more powerful in terms of how much money it gets, it will also address the problems we have at the state level. But some of the points that you have raised, some people would also controvert that. For instance, you are saying that states or local governments should be completely under the purview of states and should have no business with the federal, as it were. But recently the House of Representatives moved to make the local government a little more autonomous, because they found that one of the reasons why governance is not felt at the grassroots level is because they are too subsumed, as it were, under the state government. What do you think about that?
You see, the index with local government is not on the how they assess funds. I'm talking about the fiscal number in existence. The fiscal number in existence as it is today is an index of injustice. As it is today.
But
and then why should the National Assembly, or why should the delegates from Boronu, for instance, be bothered about the creation of local governments in Lagos?